Brother Ben here. Brother Ben. Now, Ben got a heck of a program. A lot of people listening to Brother Ben. And Ben tells them about the minister. And Ben tells them about the minister.
All right, assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum, family. It's your brother Ben X, and we are ready for Monday Power Call. Today we're going to be talking about leadership and education. Leadership and education. We're going to be hearing from the Honorable Minister Louis Farrkahan. And for those who may be new here for your very first time, of course, we take notes, and at the very end, we want to share our thoughts and things that stood out specifically for us. And this is going to be maybe a 3-part series. Listen to it for a couple days. Listen to a short segment of it, and then we give our feedback on it. Okay. So let's go ahead and get started so that we don't waste any time here today. Let's see here. All right, here we go.
In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, I bear witness that there is no God but Him who created the heavens and the earth and all that is between. We thank Him for His prophets and messengers and the scriptures which they brought. We thank Him for Moses and the Torah. We thank Him for Jesus and the gospel. We thank Him for Prophet Muhammad ibn Abdullah, through whom Allah sent down the final revelation to this world that leads us up to and through the judgment of this world, which is now. Yes, right. Yes. Neither the Bible nor the Quran enter us into the world that comes beyond the judgment. For both Bible and Quran say that eye has not seen, ear has not heard, nor has it even entered into the heart of any human to perceive or conceive what lies beyond this world. I thank Allah for all of His prophets and messengers and the scriptures which they brought, but I am a student of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. I have been taught by a master teacher who is making me a master. I thank Allah for His intervention in the affairs of the black man and woman of America. For surely we needed someone to intervene in our affairs after our sojourn in America now for over 450 years. under the tyranny and oppression of the enemy of God and the enemy of all humanity, Satan himself. I thank Allah for allowing me to meet the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. I thank him for allowing me to hear a representative of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, Brother Najee, who was the first minister of the Nation of Islam that I heard. Would you stand, Brother Najee? And after I heard him, I think it was on a Wednesday night, I came back on a Sunday and I heard Brother Malcolm X. And I did not need to hear anymore, for I never heard any black man speak like Brother Malcolm X. He was my mentor, my teacher, and I could say without any fear of being misunderstood that at that time I was taught by the finest representative of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. I never knew that one day, however, I would replace my brother as the minister of Mosque number 7 in New York City. I never wanted his place. I always lived to defend him. And if you ever see some of the younger pictures of Farrkahan, you always saw me looking up at Malcolm with a great smile and also looking at rooftops and seeing if anyone wanted to harm my brother, that I might put my body in front of a bullet for my brother. But as in life, sometimes students disagree with their teachers. And unfortunately or fortunately, there came a time when he disagreed with his teacher, which put me in the valley of decision. No child likes to make a choice between a mom and a dad when they clash. It grieves children, and sometimes they never recover from that type of conflict that separates the mother that brought them into the world and the father whose life germ was used by God to be the agent of their life. It grieved me to have to choose between Brother Malcolm and the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. But I made that choice. And it grieved me to have to argue with my mentor publicly on the radio and other places, because it's one thing to disagree with your teacher. It's another thing to try to destroy the teacher who made it possible for you to be the great man that you ultimately became. But I thank Allah for Brother Malcolm. And even recently, I asked Allah to forgive him. Because people today are still coming to Islam because of Brother Malcolm. I'm honored to be here. Did I greet you all yet? And I greet all of you in the greeting words of peace. Assalamu alaikum. I want to thank Brother Sharif and the staff of Mosque number 15. I want to thank Brother Rashid, who invited me to Morehouse. And I was so happy over that invitation, because the last time that I spoke at Morehouse was 1979. I was the graduation speaker for the students of Morehouse. It was a different time. I had not become the great controversial fellow that I have become now. And so the great administrative leaders of Morehouse did not feel that I should come to the campus because I'm so controversial. And that would tell you that Jesus would not be invited to Morehouse. Because in his day, there was no one more controversial than Jesus. And the Bible says of him that he was hated without a cause. They had a reason to hate him, but it wasn't justified by the principle of justice. They hated him because his presence meant the end of their civilization. Jesus, the prophet, as Paul saw him, was a man born out of due season. And Jesus, the prophet, who was also our brother, our brother, our brother. According to the scriptures, Jesus said, I am the seed of David, the root of Jesse, the bright and the morning star. Jesse was the father of David. David was the father of Solomon, and Solomon used these words: I am black, but comely. O ye daughters of Jerusalem. So the Jesus, historic Jesus, was a black man. No, you don't have to applaud. That's not the Jesus that you know. Because they wanted to make sure that when you learned of Jesus, he would be in the image of your tormentor. So Michelangelo and others, they fixed up an image for Jesus. And that's what most of us have had on our walls and in our churches. But the Jesus had hair like lamb's wool. Just touch what's on top of your head. Good stuff, brother. That's the master's hair. And his feet were like burnished brass. He was a man of color. And it wouldn't make any difference to us if he were white. As long as he came from God with a message from God, we were duty bound to hear him, respect him, and follow him. It's not about color. It just so happened that he was a man of color, and white folks could not build a false religion on the genuine, real color of Jesus. What you have that you think are the teachings of Jesus is that of an organized religion that started in Rome and not in Palestine, where Jesus was born. Now, Jesus, if you really had the message of Jesus, oh, you wouldn't be in the shape that you're in today. You would be one of the most powerful brothers and sisters wherever you are with his message. Because the message of Jesus Christ, the true message, is so powerful that you could crush the power of Satan in your life and in the lives of others with the message of Jesus. So the greatest deception that has ever been perpetrated on the human family is what they have been taught about Jesus. Why would they teach the truth of him when he represents the end of their civilization?
Great question, brother. Yes, sir. That's right.
One man ending a world of wickedness.
Wow.
One man filled with the spirit of his father, destroying the foundation of a civilization based on lies.
Go ahead.
You don't need a gun. You think you have power when you have a gun. But the white man does not fear a gun because he has made a bigger one. But what he fears is truth that can expose the foundation of his civilization that's based on a lie. So the Jesus said, he who builds his foundation on falsehood is like a man building a house on sand. But he who builds his house, his civilization, his world on truth is like a man building a house on a rock. That when the winds blow, a house built on sand will fall, but the house built on a rock will stand. So Jesus said of Peter, on this man, not a spook, not a spirit, but on this man I will build my church or my community, and the gates of hell will not prevail against it. Now just think about that. Now we're living in hell. We're living in the most powerful nation that has ever been on the earth in the last 6,000 years. You look up in the sky, and everywhere you look, you see planes, his planes, conquering the sea, sending ships down to the depth of the ocean to study the life that others could not see, sending his contraptions to the moon to walk around the moon and take rocks from the moon and bring those rocks back to study what are the components of the matter that makes up the moon. Spending billions of dollars to send a contraption to Mars that has cameras that can look at the terrain and scoop it up. Cameras that can send images back to Earth from Mars. He's a conqueror of the depths of the sea, the power of the air. He masters the land. His armies, his navies, his air force, they have no equal. But yet, in his house, God has come. Just as it was in Egypt land, where the children of Israel had been under Pharaoh's tyranny for 400 years, God came, fulfilling what is written of him. He came to see, the book says, whether the cry of his people was altogether what he had heard. He said, I heard your moaning and your groaning under your slave master. Georgia, you know what that means. Mississippi, you know what that means. Alabama, you know what that means. And every day that we read of another black man shot down in cold blood by the hatred of an enemy that now wears a police uniform. It makes us to know that we are still under tyranny. So the young have gone out in the streets with signs saying, hands up, don't shoot. But I'm here to tell you, don't put your hands up. Because that makes you defenseless. And every time we put our hands up, he shoots us down. The only life you have is the one that you have. And for you not to fight like hell to keep that life, then you don't deserve the life that God gave you. I want you to listen to me very well. There's nothing wrong with fighting. Every animal has something with which it fights to protect its life. Have you ever tried to kill a cockroach? He ain't standing around waiting. When the light come on, cockroach move. Because he knows when the light comes on, death is on its way to him. Mice and rats, they flee. So we are going to have to decide soon whether we will fight for the life that the Creator gave us to keep it. And even if you have to take the life of the one who's trying to take your life, then so be it. I didn't bring my Holy Quran and I didn't bring my Bible, but I just want to talk to the students today. I'm so honored that you came, because as a man of 82 years of age, not knowing how much time I have left, you are the most important people in my life right now, because you will be here when I am gone, and I want to make sure that you've got the requisite knowledge that will see you through a dark day into the light of a brand new day and a brand new world. Now, a lot of young people refer to themselves as the Joshua generation. Have you heard that expression? Don't fool yourself. You could be that, but you're not that now. No. Joshua generation is not an integrationist. No, the real Joshua. Moses, who was the predecessor of Joshua, was not an integrationist. God commanded him to say a few words to Pharaoh. He was terrified because the God that he met in a burning bush told him, go and tell Pharaoh that I said to let my people go. And Moses said, well, who should I tell him sent me? And look at his answer. He said, tell him, I am that I am. Oh, wait a minute now. Now, those of you who study English, you know, I am is the present tense, right? And those of you who know how to conjugate words, you know that when he says I am, that means I'm present. I'm here. I'm here. I exist. That I am. Meaning I'm God. I'm present. I'm directing you, Moses. Go tell him. Now, Pharaoh was a bad dude. Excuse the expression. He was a powerful man. But when God appears, what appeared powerful sinks into insignificance if you know who the I am is that has now presented himself in your life. Moses started putting up excuses. He said, now, you know, I have a stammering tongue. I don't speak plain. Could you send my brother with me, Aaron? God didn't answer his weakness. God opposed his weakness with a question. Who made your mouth? I made your mouth, and I made the ears that you were going to speak to. Just go and do as I have said. But I'll give you your brother, Aaron, but he won't be what you want him for. He be what I'm giving him to you for. Because you want him because he's eloquent. But I'm going to give you your brother because in him is what is necessary to help you, Moses, accomplish your mission. Just listen. Moses was frightened. Anybody that has a great commission, when they first get it, they're very afraid. But don't feel bad if your heart flutters when you see a fight coming. But summoning the strength of your being to fight. See, then the hormones in your body give you greater strength than you had before fear shook you. If you work beyond your fear. So fear is something to be challenged. Because it's the one thing that reduces you to less than what you are and less than what you're capable of doing. Did you hear me? Fear. Moses began to lose that fear as he saw the hand of Jehovah aiding his mouth. I remember being with the Honorable Elijah Muhammad one day, and he said, brother, he said, I sometimes would say things to see if God would answer my saying. And when I said it and he answered it, I said it again. Right. And then I learned that my will was his will. Yes, I don't know why he told me that, but I started trying it. This is true. But I spoke of destruction. And he answered. Not once, not twice, several times, and I stopped doing it. Because it's something when you learn your connection to the divine supreme being, it's a frightening experience. And those of you who may have been at ITC this morning, see, you heard something and you saw something. If you are wise enough to look at what you saw and properly interpret it, you saw a man with no notes walk through scripture with students of scripture and teach them what they had never heard. And I have never been in a theological seminary except to tell the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. I never graduated from college. I can't tell you I have a BS behind my name. You can take that any way you want to. And I can't tell you that I have a MS or MA, a PhD. I don't have none of that. But as it was with Jesus, they said, how come this man, having not letters, is learned? See, you don't need to go to college to really become wise. Sometimes you go to college and become a fool. And sometimes when you got weak administrators, they'll never allow you to really become strong. Because they are there to please forces that you don't see. So to charge us money, to give us an inferior education that will not allow us to compete in the world of knowledge and ideas is a robbery that must be paid for. How dare you charge the grandmothers and mothers and fathers of these students the kind of money that they have to come up with, and they come out of college with a useless degree, begging white people to give them a job. And now you students are coming out of Morehouse, Clark, Atlanta, there's no job out there for you. The president had a jobs bill. It never passed. And even if it did pass, it would only guarantee 3 million jobs. And history says we the last hired and the first fired. So do you think that those jobs will come to us when white people are out of work? No. If we are not strong enough to create a job for ourselves, then looking to others to give you a job is a waste of your valuable time and a waste of your parents' money. And if you got a student loan, then when you graduate, you're already a slave. Because debt is another form of slavery. And some of the elders that may be here that graduated with student loans, right now the government is on your case. And if you got a job, they're interfering with your job, garnishing your pay. You got to pay the student loan. See, that's 3-card Molly. They're playing a game with our lives. We got to pay back for an education that ain't worth a damn. I want to talk to you, students, because you are the sacred generation of Joshua. Joshua was no punk. So you can't be the Joshua generation wearing punk ideas and punk action. I've been punked. Ain't that something on TV? Joshua generation are warriors. Why? Because Joshua was sent to spy out a land. Dr. King, one of the great men of our time, the night before he was assassinated, in that speech, he said, I have been to the mountaintop, and I've looked over and I have seen not the promised sky, but the promised land. Then he said, I may not get there with you, but we as a people will get to the promised land. What land? What land? When we finished slavery in the early 1800s, the late 1800s, we had 16 million acres of land. Did you hear me? 16 million. How many you got now? 3 million or less. If you have no land, you have no basis to build an economic reality. If you don't own land and don't know how to work land and don't know how to build on the land, then you're a slave. So don't call yourself the Joshua generation and you don't want to take the land that has been spied out already for you. See, Joshua was no punk, and neither was the Joshua generation. I want to talk to you today. I want you to look at your discipline, the course that you're studying. What is your major? Well, my major is sociology. Good. What do you learn? Well, yeah, what did I learn? I'm coming out of school with a BS degree. In that order. You coming out to BS your way through. A sociology degree. Now you're supposed to be able, if you have such a degree, to use that skill to help solve social problems. Am I correct? And with a BS degree in sociology, you're just getting started. So you go on and pay more money and get your master's degree. And if you're lucky, you go on a little further, you get your PhD degree in sociology. That means you're a doctor. Yes. Yes. As a doctor of sociology, we should be able to heal the social condition. Now let's look at the social conditions. You got 50% or more of black children dropping out of school. 50% or more. Yes, sir. All the jobs that used to be in cities that gave unskilled labor a chance to make an earning to feed a family, all those factories have closed, moved out of the city, gone. So you got a degree in sociology, so what are you going to do now to heal the jobless condition of black people? Because the jobless condition at a time like this has put so much pressure on the minds of black men and women that we are breaking down mentally. So they have pills now. They know you were going to break down, because they created circumstances through social engineering that they know we were going to fall victim to. Sociology. And with it, you have psychology. Oh, Lord. So you're studying Mr. Jung. And what's the other guy? Freud. You could say fraud. Because whatever you got, try it on the children when you're doing your practice teaching. See if your psychology works. You have methods courses. Methods to how to transmit the knowledge that you've received. Try it out. See how it works. Yes, sir. In the classroom, the children are so hyped up, you can't even teach them because you have to discipline them in order to first teach them. Their minds are so quick, so fast. And your ability to teach those minds is so slow till they break up the classroom with bad behavior. And then we send them somewhere where they recommend a shot. Listen. What is in the shot? It's a little light heroin. Now you come back to class. Oh, there's Johnny. Johnny is so quiet. Now you can teach the rest of them, but the brightest students in your class are the ones you don't know how to handle. Here are babies in front of TV with computer knowledge, 2 and 3 years old. You don't have to bother them. Johnny's now stop playing around, Johnny. Johnny's at the TV. He's working, playing them games. His hands moving fast. And then you want to slow him down with Mary Had a Little Lamb. School is messed up. See, education is not a human need. It's a human right. And when somebody deprives you of an education that will allow you to develop your skills and gifts and talents to be able to order a society, build a world. Yes. Mr. Zuckerberg did not graduate with a degree. Bill Gates, Steve Jobs. If that man that built that iPhone is not from God, I don't know who is. Because now you can reach the world in an instant. You can go into libraries and read books about any subject that you desire. So what the hell do we need to spend all day in a school for when we can dial up what we want to learn and come away a master? You are being trained to be an educated, no, a trained slave. Joshua generation. When somebody spies out some land that God wants to give you, you got to work that land. You got to develop that land. You got to look into that land and see what minerals and whatnot of value is in that land so you can extract it out of that land and use it to build houses, build roads, build whatever you need. That's why land was what was promised, and that's why Dr. King said, I may not get there with you, because we weren't talking land. We were talking integrating a counter that was owned by your enemy when in the ghetto or in the hood or in the place where we lived throughout the South. We had our own counters, we had our own places. They weren't as grand as white folks' places, but they were ours. We had bus companies, we had insurance companies. We had businesses in our community that served our needs. So if white folk didn't want us in their establishments, we said, to hell with you, we'll build our own.
My, what a lecture right there. So that's part one. Brothers and sisters, if you have anything that you would like to share that particularly stood out for you, I want you to press the number 1 at this time to share notes that you have. To share notes that you have. I'll start with what he said. Obviously, y'all know where I'm about to go. He said, Steve Jobs, that man, if it wasn't from God, I don't know who he is. And then he explained, because now we have a device. He says, now you can reach the world in an instance. You think about God being all powerful, omnipresent. Look at how through the internet, how we're able to reach millions miles away. We have literally no excuse. You have access to a device that can get us knowledge, get us steps, so much so we're overwhelmed with it. We're not deprived of it. We're overwhelmed with the amount of knowledge and the access that we have today. Somebody said, I'm a slave with them damn letters behind my name. The fans want to know how many dunks will you have and how many points next Sunday. I don't know. Hopefully 5 dunking on somebody. But he said you can go into libraries and read books about any subject. So what the hell do we need to go to school for when we can dial up what we want to learn and become a master? So some of us have a tradition mindset. Well, I went to the school building, so I'm going to send my children to the school building. And one thing that stood out to me as well is when the minister talked about the children are in front of the TV and they on the devices and we're slowing them down. See, typically you hear, and it is a thing, it is a reality. Typically, though, we hear, oh, get them off the TV, get them off the devices. But the devices at this point can also be sharpening their skills and making them more advanced because they keeping up with the technology while you, the parent, is really behind. Them children know how to work your phone. Them children know how to work the computer, which is where things is going digital, better than you. But they telling you, keep them away from it. And as I know, there's the addiction and there is a balance that's needed. But then he said, you slowing them down where Mary had a little lamb. Again, you stuck in an old mindset in a new reality. So if school, and then this is what stood out to me. He said, education is not just a human need, but a human right. And then he goes on to explain what education is for. Education to develop your skills, gifts, and talents to build society and build a world. None of them said to pass a test. None of them said to pass a test. And I'm going to pass the mic after this last thing. I just spoke to a group of brothers and sisters who was said to be, juvenile and, all this type of stuff, right? And what I noticed is when I asked them what their dreams was, I did my presentation was about vision and purpose. That's what it was about. Their vision and their purpose. So I would ask them, and some adults, I know some of y'all deal with this. I would ask them, what do you want to be when you grow up? Oh, I want to be a defense attorney. Why? Boom, boom, boom. I want to be a cosmetologist. Oh, okay, that's what you want to be. Why you want to? Watch this. And I asked them, now, what are your daily habits that's getting you there? I don't know. What are you doing daily that's going to help you reach what you told me? See, now this is something that you want, right? What are you doing daily that's going to help you get there? And then one brother, I got him. He thought he gave me a good answer, and it was a good answer, but he was like, oh man, I got, I'm going to school, I'm doing this essay, and I'm doing this, and then I come home and I'm reading this, and I'm like, oh, sound good in his mind, right? And it's the same way some of us think as adults. In his mind, oh, I'm doing this, I'm going to school. I said, now, which one of those essays that you're doing in school have to do with what you told me you want to do? Oh, which one of them books you reading? Because it was some good books. Dr. Wesley book, and he was reading the book on black people, and I mean, it was good books. I said, but which one of those books though leads you closer to what you told me you want to be? And he was like, none of them. So our daily habits that we're doing not leading us to our goal. So, and then there was another group. I asked them, do you guys know when they told me they really didn't, I said, do y'all even know what to do first? Like, do you guys even know what habits that you need to have to get where you want to go? You know, it was a group of sisters in this class. They said, nope. So what are we learning in school? They're not asking us, what do you want to be? They're not giving us the, now, yeah, mind you, yeah, we learning how to read, we learn how to do math, and those are good things. But the reason for which we are born, I'm talking about to develop our skill sets individually, gifts, talents, those conversations not being had unless you got a teacher that's going to come outside the curriculum and they really care about you. So I said, look, that's why y'all don't like school. Y'all in here not learning nothing about where you want to go. They're not asking you what's your gift and what are you doing, and here's what you need to learn outside of school to help you develop your gift to get you where you want to go. That was sad, man, to see all them say, nah, I don't even know what happens to even do to get you where I want to go. Now, you've been in school every day. We're going to be here for 12 years. First grade, second grade. Then they say when it's time for college, okay, you grown now. You ain't prepared me. You ain't talked to me about what I need to be doing to prepare for where I want to be in life. So when the minister said, man, shoot, the hell do we need school for when you can learn now in somebody's program on a YouTube channel? You now can utilize the research that you have at your hands that is going to be tailored for what I need individually to make me a better human being. Not just general knowledge because I know how to read and do math. So that's what stood out to me. So let's go to who we got here. What's our cue? I don't know what our cue is right now. Let me try to go up. Looks like Sister Gwen is the first one.
Assalamu alaikum, family. What stood out to me was one of the things was he said the brightest students in the classroom are the ones you don't know how to handle. And there is a book that I've had in my library for about 30 years. It's called Kill Them Before They Grow. It's from a black college professor that talked about how, I think he was a psychology professor. He talked about how we send our children to these public schools, and when they cannot control them, like the minister said, they target single mothers to give their children drugs, to Ritalin and Adderall and all that stuff, to make them sit down so then they can't learn. They make you believe as Black individuals that our children are less than, lower than, cannot be taught. And when I found that book, I bought it and I read it, and it made me cry because my youngest son, who will be 34 in August, got hit by a car when he was 5. They diagnosed him with attention deficit disorder. I don't know if he would have had attention deficit disorder before he got hit by this car, so I don't know. But what they were trying to tell me was he was unteachable. So what I did was I went to the library. I looked up everything that I could possibly find that had to do with attention deficit disorder, how to sit him in the classroom, where to place him in the classroom for maximum attention, how to teach him. They did none of it. None of it. Absolutely nothing. So how can you say that you have a failure when you didn't do what is needed to teach it? After all of this young man, like I said, is 34 years old. He's in Dallas, Texas. I got a chance to see him while I was there. He has his own online business. He's doing it. But if I had listened to them, what they wanted me to do, what would I have today? And that's all. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam. And for those who are watching on Instagram right now, y'all pressing 1. We are on Zoom. So if y'all want to be a part of this community, this is the power call that I do every Monday through Friday, unless I report out 7 a.m. Central Time, www.thepowercall.net. Come on over from Instagram. We would love for y'all to give y'all feedback, because I see Billionaire Book Babe. It look like you a teacher. You teach something. We need to hear y'all. So come on over here, www.thepowercall.net. Create your profile. It's free. Come inside the community. We got over 700 members, I think, and we dialogue on a daily basis. We inside our own private community, and in the morning we get on Zoom and we watch lectures and we watch stuff that's gonna help us be better, and we dialogue about it. And this is Monday through Friday. So if y'all want to be a part of this, we want to hear from y'all, because everybody don't be speaking over here. We got some listeners. We ain't got too many speakers lately over here. Ramadan, they go to sleep. So we need some more number ones over here that's gonna actually speak and give us a different perspective. Okay. Let's go to Sister Shireen.
Assalamu alaikum, family. Great day to you all. Excuse me. A few things stood out to me, but they, of course, all connect because we have a master teacher, and so he knows how to weave things together. And we start the lecture out talking about one thing, and then we end up all the way over here, but it's still all relevant, and I appreciate that. Because earlier on he was talking about how children feel when there's a divorce and they feel torn, and you know it makes them have to choose, and it is a distress to them. And as adults, we struggle with disagreements and conflicts with work and conflicts with relationships with our peers and our spouses and things like that. And so children are in these environments, in the homes where the parents have already been probably hostile to each other, or they've broken up and separated and things like that. So the parents are distracted, and they say, go sit down over there, get away from me, go, go somewhere. Here's my phone. And so, yeah, they're exposing them to a device which could be a great source of information and education, but Satan has other intentions for those devices. And so the parents are not alert enough to guard the portals of their babies. So their eyes are being assaulted, their ears are being assaulted. And that's what leads to the further unraveling of our children's minds. And so when they go into the schools and the teachers, or, I gotta honestly say, all teachers are not looking out for the children. They're not. They're trying to get a paycheck, just like these politicians are trying to get a paycheck. So you have teachers in the schools that care and know how to do what's best for our children. But if there's such resistance from the children, and then the parents back up the resistance with disrespect and excuses, a lot of the parents are intimidated by what their children are learning in school because they themselves didn't learn it. And so trying to get everybody back on the same page is it's challenging, but that's what platforms like this can do. It can alert people, alert parents. I'm sure you have tons of listeners that hear themselves in some of these scenarios. And so when they recognize, that's me, like Sister Gwen just said, you know, when we hear our story being articulated back to us, now we can see that's where I went wrong. That's where I messed up. That's where I gotta go back. I gotta fix that, you know? And so inshallah, parents will be more alert this coming school year, just from the summer, listening to this podcast. You know, this year I'm gonna make sure I do this. I'm not gonna let them do that. It's just little tweaks that can make a world of difference both at home and in the school. So we just have to be more cognizant of what we're watching while our children are sitting in a room as well. We can't be watching this foolishness and BET awards and all this nonsense and then expect the children to just stand up straight and not be curious about any of the things that's going to lead them down a dark path. So that's it. Have a great day.
Praise be to Allah. KC Carter.
Okay. Hello. How you doing, Brother Ben X?
Doing well.
I have been on here and I'm in the BWF. This is my first time ever coming live and giving it 100% is one of my goals for July. One of the things that stood out for me was about fear, and fear is to be challenged. That's something that I have been tackling for probably the last year now, as far as starting my own business, is just challenging myself with just fear and going forward, even when the failures come, but to learn from them and to keep going and not to allow the fear to sit in. So that was one of the things that stood out to me. And then the same way that what the sister had just said, I have a 3-year-old son. I actually put him in school at the age of 2. So I have heard people say he shouldn't watch TV. But when he's watching TV, he's on the YouTube and he's watching Blaze, which is a cartoon. It teaches about science. So he's learning about science and he's loving science to the point that we do science projects together. So I do agree with the sister that was just there. It's about the parent being present and actually directing the child while they watching the TV shows, because it's a lot of educational shows out there, especially if you're using today's technology. My son is 3, just like I said, and he gets on my laptop because he sees that I'm on one, and he know how to operate it. When I'm reading stories to him, he's repeating after me. The minister is definitely right. At these early age, their brain is fast, and it's all about what the parents are choosing to instill in that child. So, Brother Ben X, I've been following you for a while, and have been a part of the BWO, now the BWF. So continue what you are doing. I was actually raised up in Muhammad Mosque number 6, not currently in it, but I do come from Muhammad Mosque number 6 here in Baltimore, Maryland. So.
Praise be to Allah. Well, I thank you for sticking with me and coming and giving your time and being here again after the rebuild. And with that being said, I really do appreciate you guys. It's to have y'all attention in the morning like this. When you get up early in the summer, y'all know y'all don't be wanting to get up. We black folks, boy, we don't be wanting to get up to be listening to nobody. So, man, for y'all to be getting up every morning to come here to minister and hear this feedback and be a part of this power call. It's really an honor to have y'all eyes and ears, because there's so many of the podcasts, videos, people that y'all can be tuned into. So I'm just honored, man, that God is using me to impact, so many people, and using us to impact so many people as well. So I thank y'all. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. So those of y'all who are tuned in on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, if y'all want to come on and kind of be a part of the circle where y'all can be on the Zoom with us and be able to get your feedback, again, that's www.thepowercall.net. If you are on Instagram, listen closely. Instagram, just Instagram. Instagram, if you guys want my ebook, my free ebook on a way to create digital product that attracts supporters, you can comment the word free. If you missed my free masterclass where I was talking about how to build out an impactful online program, this is for those of you all who got knowledge. This is for those of y'all who have something to offer and you ready to grow your impact and income. You can comment the word masterclass, all one word, masterclass, just on Instagram. If y'all want it and y'all are part of the Power Call or BWF, just inbox me over on school and I'll shoot y'all the link. But that's for y'all who over there on Instagram. Do anybody else have anything that they would like to share? I don't see any more number ones. Let me see. I know I got something else. Oh, a lot of people call themselves the Joshua generation. He said, you could be that. You could be that, but you're not that now. The real generation, are the real Joshua generation, are not integrationalists. Moses was a predecessor of Joshua and he wasn't an integrationalist. Now we know he taught, let my people go. So here's the thing I want us to kind of ponder on. If we are the modern children of Israel, if we are the modern children of Israel, and I don't know any other people that was enslaved in a strange land for 400 years, then there must be a modern Moses who taught what? Separation, because Moses went to Pharaoh and said, separate. That's all he taught, separation. Then Moses they said he had a stammering tongue, so he wanted some help. But God said, hey, man, I made your mouth. Then he said, well, hey, man, but my brother Aaron has eloquent speech. So can you help me? I mean, because, he got just eloquent speech. So he ended up teaming up with Aaron. But Moses said, but you speak what I tell you to speak because I'm getting it from God. I want us to think about that. In modern time, if we are the real children of Israel, well, who is the modern Moses? And who is the modern Moses who didn't speak as well, who had an Aaron who had eloquent speech, and then Moses, the one who met with God face to face? That's what we got to think about. And so when we thinking about what we're doing, and are we following the one who came to get us away from Pharaoh or the government, or who we shouldn't be worshiping, trying to bring us back to the God? What was his message? His message was to let my people go. Hey, you guys, separate. Jesus said, come out of her. That's separate. Noah was telling them to get on the boat. And those who don't get on the boat, something gonna happen. Y'all gonna get drowned. That's what? Separation. So from my looking, my studying, my listening to the minister, sounds like all of the prophets taught separation, not integration. So when we thinking about who team we really own, and, when we think about our methods and what we think our solution is it to integrate with this world? Is it to integrate with this government? Is it to integrate within their ways, or strive to separate? Now, it's not going to be easy. Now, watch this now. It's not going to be easy. How many of y'all right now, just be honest, you can't tune in and really do what you want to do because you be busy at work? Just put me in the comment section if you like, man, but I be busy at work, bro. I be missing videos, man. I be missing meetings, man. I be missing sometime the mosque or the church or whatever. I just be so busy, bro. Man, I'm working, making ends meet. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Let me read something for you. Oh, man, let me read this. Sorry, I had to close my eyes. Sometimes I had to visualize what I'm looking for. Look at this, y'all. I want y'all to see if this sounds familiar. And if what you may be going through in your life represents this or resembles this. Look at this now. This is Exodus chapter 5. We're going to start with verse 1. Afterward, Moses and Aaron went to Pharaoh and said, "This is what the Lord, the God of Israel, says, let my people go so that they may hold a festival to me in the wilderness, or hold a festival in my honor in the wilderness." Okay, so now Moses and Aaron is dealing now with Pharaoh. Pharaoh said, "Who is the Lord that I should obey him?" Come on now, y'all know we got an arrogant government now. Man, who is that? He said, "Is that so? Who is the Lord that I should listen to him? I'm Pharaoh, I'm the government. I don't know the Lord, and I would not let Israel go. I would not let these niggas go." I got to give you the modern translation now. Now look at verse 3. Then they said, "The God of the Hebrews has met with us. Now let us take a 3-day journey into the wilderness to offer sacrifices to the Lord our God, or he may strike us with plagues or with the sword." Okay. Let's go into verse number 4. Pharaoh replied, Moses and Aaron, "Why are you, look at this, y'all. Now, what was Moses and Aaron doing? I want y'all to think real quick. What was they doing? Waking the people up, telling them the truth, getting them to do what? Hey, man, come on, let my people go, separate. And then they was trying to show them who the real God was, which was Jehovah, to get them to see, hey, man, I need you to focus. Hey, man, accept your own. Be yourself. Here's your God right here. Look at what Pharaoh said about what Moses and Aaron was doing. Pharaoh replied, Moses and Aaron, "Why are you distracting the people from their tasks? Get back to work." Get back to work. So look at what happened. So look at what Pharaoh did, because Moses and Aaron, through this message, through spreading his word, is distracting the people from their work. Here we go. Look at the next one. This 5 and 5. Then Pharaoh said, "Look, there are many of your people in the land. Are you stopping them from their work?" Oh, the minister in 1995 said on a Monday, not a Saturday, not a Sunday, on a work day. Woo, come on down here to Washington. We're going to call 1,000,000 men. Oh, yeah, we're going to call 1,000,000 men to responsibility, reconciliation, to go back home and build businesses, go back home and be better men, go back, stop, be more peaceful on a Monday. So look, he said, are you stopping them from their work? So look at what Pharaoh did. He said the same day, Pharaoh sent this order to the Egyptian slave drivers. Or another translation of the Bible says, the same day Pharaoh commanded the task makers. But another one says slave drivers and overseers in charge of the people. So he gave this order. So he's thinking about a plan now. A lot of planning. He planning, but look at what his plan is. He say, man, I got to come up with something. The niggas is getting distracted from their work. My work that they doing building my world. They ain't building their own world. They ain't working building the kingdom of heaven. No, they at work with me. Something's got to happen. So they come up with an order. Look at the order. You are no longer to supply the people with straw to make bricks. Let them go and gather their own straw. Now, the straw is what makes it easier, y'all, for them to make the bricks. So now they saying, hey, you are no longer to supply them with the straw to make the brick. They make the people go get it themselves. So what happens? Why is that important? But require them to make the same number of bricks as before. Don't reduce the quota. They are lazy. That's why they crying out, let us go and offer sacrifices to our God. So he's saying we lazy. So now he's going to take away what kind of makes it easier for you to do your job, but I need you to produce the same amount, same quota. Y'all, man, is y'all seeing this? So then this is literally in Exodus 5 and 9. Make the work harder for the people so that they keep working and pay no attention to the lies. I know some of y'all saying, ain't this about a man? Yeah. It said, another translation says, load them down with more work. Make them sweat. That would teach them to listen or not listen to the lies or pay no regard to lying words. So Pharaoh is now saying Moses and Aaron is lying, but we know through the scripture they ain't lying. They was coming to save the people. But he's saying overload them, load them down with the work so they ain't got time to pay attention to the word. They ain't got time to pay attention to the truth that they calling lies. Man, this is some good stuff. So this is Exodus 5 and 10. So the slave drivers or task makers and foremen went out and told the people, this is what Pharaoh says, I will not provide any more straw for you. Go and get your own straw wherever you can find it, but your work will not be reduced at all. So the people scattered all over Egypt to gather stubble to use for straw. The slave drivers kept pressing them, saying, complete the work required of you for each day, just as when you had the straw. So now they go to work, meet your quota, meet your quota, pay your bill. Meet your quota, pay your bill. Meet your quota. So then, and Pharaoh's slave drivers beat the Israelite overseers they had appointed, demanding, why haven't you met your quota of bricks yesterday or today as before? Why haven't you met your quota? Then the Israelite overseers went and appealed to Pharaoh. Why have you treated your servants this way? Your servants are given no straw, yet we are told make bricks. Your servants are being beaten, but the fault is with your own people. Pharaoh said, lazy. That's what you are, lazy. Now, don't you see them calling us lazy? How the hell are we lazy when we done been enslaved building this country? But you call us lazy. You lazy. That is why you keep saying, let us go and sacrifice us to our Lord. Now get to work. You will not be given any straw. Yet you must produce your full quota of bricks. Look at this. Look at how they being treated. The Israelite overseers realized they were in trouble when they were told you are not to reduce the number of bricks required of you for each day. When they left Pharaoh, they found Moses and Aaron waiting to meet them. And they said, may the Lord look on you and judge you. You have made us obnoxious to Pharaoh and his officials and have put a sword to their hand to kill us. Moses returned to the Lord and said, why, Lord? Why have you brought trouble on this people? Is this why you sent me? Look at the heart of Moses. He don't want them to get in trouble. Ever since I went to Pharaoh to speak in your name, he has brought trouble on this people, and you have not rescued your people at all. It's Moses now. Then the Lord said to Moses, now you will see what I would do to Pharaoh Because of my mighty hand, he will let them go. Because of my mighty hand, he will drive them out of his country. God also said to Moses, I am the Lord. I appeared to Abraham, to Isaac, to Jacob as God Almighty, but my name, the Lord, I did not make myself fully known to them. I also established my covenant with them to give them the land of Canaan, where they reside as foreigners. Moreover, I have heard their groaning of the Israelites, whom the Egyptians are enslaving, and I have remembered my covenant. Therefore say to the Israelites, I am the Lord, and I will bring you out from under the yoke of the Egyptians. I will free you from being slaves to them, and I will redeem you. Now, think about the message that we received. Separation or death. Do for self or suffer the consequences. Get knowledge, but a knowledge that will not build their world, but that will build your world. He's teaching us, get land. Land is the basis of your freedom. Come on now. But God is force and power. When the minister is teaching, when the minister is teaching us about the God, he said we don't worship the flesh of any man. It is the knowledge that we worship because it is the wisdom that is eternal. So we have a duty too. We can't leave it on Moses and Aaron. We can't leave it on the spook God. God is going to work through us to take the wisdom to where we got to apply it now. Don't think some mystery guy going to swoop in and take you off that job. Don't think some mystery guy going to swoop in and take us from making all these bricks that got us distracted from this word. We have to have a type of belief, man, that said, damn it, I can't keep doing this here. If I got to downsize to not live beyond my means, I cannot be busy all day of my life and I'm distracted from the word of God. I'm distracted from what Moses and Aaron really want me to call out and be. So we got to make a decision, man. It ain't easy. I know it's comfortable when you working. Oh, man, the bill is going to be paid every 2 weeks. Even if I go to work and I slack up a little bit, they ain't going to see me. But with my own business or with my own job or doing for self, I got a little bit more responsibility. I know it's hard, man. But I wanted to paint this picture to us because many of us, when you want to accomplish your goals, and if Allah allows you to envision it as possible, we are taught that what? Allah destroyed the impossible when he created himself from triple darkness. So the vision that we see, oh man, I'm doing for self. I'm making my own money. I'm not this, I'm not that. Man, that's on the other side of that fear. And we gotta learn how to prepare ourselves for that still away process that the minister gave us, so that we can buy back our time. Or else what we see we'll never get, maybe doing it at the rate that we're doing it because we never have time. So if you got a goal, you got a vision, you got a business, you got something that you want to accomplish, and the excuse is always, I don't got time. I ain't got time. I'm tired. I don't have enough time in the day. I don't have enough hours. I want y'all to remember this that we just read today that's in the scripture. It may be by design that you can't fulfill your purpose, that you know God is calling you to, that you don't have enough time to fulfill it. That may be by design. And we got to ask ourselves, man, what am I going to do about it? What am I going to do about it? Am I going to really have faith in the God? Or am I just settle with being an integrationalist? Being okay with where I'm at because it's able to pay the bills. Make the bricks. Think about it. That's deep, man. That's some deep stuff. And I remember what it feel like, y'all. So I ain't saying this no easy thing. I know what it feel like when you finally say, man, I'm through with this job, bro. Because when I first quit, and I'm not telling y'all to do it like me, because I just quit. I ain't had no money saved, no nothing. God came through. At the end of every month for about 10 months straight, I was like, bro, I don't know where the money coming from. And it was just not no spooky stuff. I will pray for opportunities. And through the skill sets and education, I will go create opportunities so that I can work. Ain't no, the honorable ain't gonna be no sleeping in heaven. It's work in heaven. So find your skill, find your purpose, find how you can add value to people's life and really learn how to really execute on that. Or learn how to invest. And you can get with 6 to 8 like-minded individuals, come together, pool your resources, and do so. We just gotta go learn the implementation part. We got the concept. So I just want to go into that a little bit, man, and help us out, because we all say that we believe in God. Even if you're a Christian, this ain't just for Muslims. Even if you're a Christian, we get online on Sundays and it sounds good. I went to church today. Yeah, I did this, I did that. But it said those who believe will be found doing the works that I'm doing. That's John 14:12. But if I don't have time to do God's work, did y'all remember? You remember when the people came to Jesus saying, "Oh, Lord, look at all the good things I did in your name." And it said, "Get thee away from me, you who's practiced lawlessness." Damn, can you imagine that? You thinking you on point, and when you see Jesus, he said, "Get thee away from me, turn thee away from me, you who practice lawlessness." You don't even realize, boy, you ain't been doing my work. Man. Ooh, that's crushing right there, boy. Look up that scripture. He said, "Man, get thee away from me." Damn. Boy, that'll have you, boy, delete your whole Instagram. Boy, you delete your whole Facebook, boy. Jesus tell you, your little heart be crushed. Woo! So we got to get it together, man, with the time that we have. And it says that if we're faithful over little, that includes time. Man, he'll make us faithful over much. So the time that we do have, man, let's make it powerful, man. Let's be impactful with it. Let's see how we can maximize. You may have 30 minutes out the day. That's all you got. But how are you maximizing that 30 so you can eventually turn that into 3 hours? So you can eventually turn that into, man, I'm working full time by myself. And that comes with education and knowledge and execution. Not just filling your head up saying, "Oh, that was good game. That was good." But you ask no questions to get specific implementation. "Oh, that was amazing. Thank you. Y'all so..." But then you ask no questions for your implementation. You don't have 4 things written down that you're going to go execute on that you can apply. The minister said, I love when the minister be like, "Stop it. I ain't asked y'all on all that clapping. Just listen." Because he said, "Don't treat me like no lovely song. You hear me come out, "Oh, the minister coming. There you go. Look at him." And he give us all this game. He give us he give us ideas. He give us plans. And then we go back and do nothing. We go back to our same comfortable lives. Don't buy no program. Paying all that money. You watching 2-hour podcast. Ooh, that was on fire. And then you be like, a week from now, you ain't changed nothing. Let's start implementing at least 1 to 2 things out of everything that we listen to so that our life can reflect what we're hearing. Or else you're gonna start being really depressed and overwhelmed because it's like, I got so much, but it ain't coming out. Yeah, that's like your stomach. When you got a boo-boo real bad. Oh, yeah, I'm painting a picture now. You think about your stomach. Don't your stomach get to, ooh my good, you can barely walk. Yeah, boy, you gotta go to the bathroom. You eating all that food and ain't letting none of it out. That's how your mind feeling. Y'all, your mind just overwhelmed, like just constipated. What your mind saying, "Can you please apply some of this so you can get it out my head so we can, we need to massage it. We need to get it out. You keep just letting it stuck up here and ain't nothing coming out. You got to get it out. You got to use it. You got to start applying it so that more stuff, you got to make room for more stuff to come in." Okay, I'm through. I'm done my lecture for today. Sister Shinema, is it Shinema? I know you told me this probably months ago during Ramadan. Is it Shinema?
Shanima.
Shanima, dang, Shanima. Sorry.
It's okay. I've heard it murdered so many different ways, though way worse than that. I got Chinaman, Cinemax,
Chinaman.
Okay. Yeah, it's all right. You basically hit on the point that I was going to take home, and it's kind of been this same point has been knocking at the door for probably the last couple of days. Thinking about Joshua and his assignment, um, and his assertment, because when Moses realized that in his walk with God, even just hesitating, even just his moment of doubt, even though um, he was vindicated so many other different ways, um, through his obedience to the Lord, that even just a moment of delayed obedience is disobedience. Even just a fleeting moment or notion of cowardice in these times can cost us our blessing. It could cost us a whole generation. And Moses had to realize that he had to pass the torch on to Joshua. But more importantly, Joshua was ready. Joshua was ready. In the Bible, Moses sent him and Caleb, I think, out to scout. And when Joshua came back, the two of them looked at each other and said, "I think we can take them." It was the older generation that said, "I don't know. They some bad man pajamas. There's a lot of them. It's a lot though, Moses. I don't know. I don't mean we should go back. You know what I mean? They had lettuce and onions back there, Pharaoh. Maybe we should just, do our job." And so it's really important, not for us to stay on task, but to be brave, to move boldly, and to realize that if you're convicted in your post, in your spiritual post, then all the linear things that we're experiencing that are taking our time, they are of the devil. And the thing about God's plan is He's going to have His way. God's plan can deter God's plan, because even in Genesis, when He set forth everything before man gave everything their names, He gave things their nature first. And so the nature of God is, in the end, is going to be what He planned in the beginning. But if you don't do your job, your part's going to be messed up. Your destinations, your destiny will be deterred. Not God's plan, yours. But you basically said everything. That's what I wanted to take away from today's the portion that I could observe from most of the lecture. So thank everyone else for sharing, and I want to greet the family. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam. And I just noticed yesterday, Instagram been shadow banning me. My post been low like a mug. And I asked people, have y'all been seeing my posts? I think I'm shadow banned. They said, yeah, I see this one, but I ain't seen you post in a minute. And I'm like, damn, I post every day. Some people thought I stopped posting. I'm like, what? I post every day. So I don't know if I know this is a thing. Instagram actually can read what you're posting. Kind of like how if you posted anything about COVID, it would say, like, it would notice, it's able to read the picture and what's actually, I noticed that during COVID. Like, oh, if you post something about COVID, how do y'all know I said something about COVID in this post? That's what let me know, oh, it can read what the post is actually. Even if you don't say it in the caption, it can read the picture. So I'm thinking, based on what you promoting and saying, they can limit the reach of it. So when I say, do anybody see this? Now all of a sudden, everybody, yeah, I see it, but I ain't seen your post in a minute. I'm like, how is that possible? So with that being said, speaking of what we're talking about today, if y'all are on Instagram, I have been doing these one-on-ones where I'm talking to people who are interested in creating your online program and you need help with that. I don't deal with like e-commerce and just like if you don't have something of value. So if you are interested in, if you have a service-based business that you're looking to grow online, or you have knowledge and value that you offer, maybe you're a real estate agent, maybe you offer something in the health field, maybe you're a fitness trainer, whatever, and you need help putting together a program, I am doing one-on-ones to help you guys see which one of my programs will be best fit to you to help you get there. So you guys can comment the word partner or go to www.drewebinar.com and that'll schedule a one-on-one with me. Cause right now I'm like, yeah, that's too many people saying that they didn't even see my post. So I gotta start getting y'all off of social media because they limiting my posts over there. So if y'all want to talk one-on-one off social media, www.drewebinar.com. If you guys need help with this do for self process, it's not an easy process. It's not a overnight process, but those of you all who kind of been stuck and need some help, I have been doing one-on-ones to see what you guys need help with specifically. So let's go to Sister Shireen. Or if you're on Instagram, you can just comment the word partner and it'll send you a link. Sister Shireen.
Yes, sir. I wanted to come back to say to the older people like myself, don't despair about what went wrong. Let's just be scientists and have more of a scientific mind now and go back and investigate and identify where we went wrong, what could we have done better, come up with some antidotes or some cures or some solutions, right? And let's just try to make better, because what we didn't know, we didn't know. And what we didn't understand, we didn't understand. So let's have some mercy and compassion with the selves that we just weren't who we are today. And that's okay, because we get to self-improve. So we got to stop watching other people that's always shining, okay? Because when you see somebody that's always winning, what are you going to feel like? A loser. And in real life, nobody's always shining. Everybody goes through ups and downs. That's just the way of the world. That's the way God made it. And so if they're only showing you the highlight reels and the face that's made up with the stencils and the airbrushes and all that stuff, you're gonna always feel like, oh my gosh, I gotta do this, I gotta pluck my hairs, I gotta, and that's just not it's not kind to yourself. So look at what went wrong. Look at how, you didn't do this or that the way you wish you had. And if it's too late in terms of like your children are older now, whatever, go back and help somebody else with their children. Volunteer in the community and try to make up for what went wrong. Fathers, if you walked away from your children, call them up. Don't expect them to call you up and say, Dad, I understand that you were going through something and I forgive you now, and let's start from there. No, they're not going to do that because they don't know how to say that yet. But you know that you've been away too long. Pick up the phone, call your baby, go over there. You may not have the money. They don't want your money. Well, these children might want your money, but they want your love. They need your love. Moms, if you've been away from your babies, they at your mama's house and you've been out partying and stuff, go over there and sit down with them. Read a book with them. Help them learn how to write their name in cursive. Like, do something with your children to make things easier for them to feel like my mama loved me, my daddy loved me. I know they're going through something. But if you just keep staying away because you've been away, then you're not gonna, you just gonna make that gap bigger and bigger and bigger, and it's gonna be harder to get over. So start small. Don't make promises you can't keep. Don't tell them you're gonna buy a bike if you ain't got the money to buy the bike. Just tell them I love you, and when I get it, I'm gonna give it to you, and keep your word. Stop lying to your children. Don't do that, because that is what breaks their hearts the most, because they hold on to everything that we say to them. That's it, y'all. Peace. I love you.
Peace. Yeah. Sister Randy, you said that's why we say inshallah. But the children, boy, them children make, after a while, we know what inshallah mean. Oh, I mean, no. Can we go outside? Inshallah. Inshallah. If it be the will of Allah, boy, if it be the will of Allah. Can we play the game? Inshallah. Inshallah. We'll see. boy, inshallah, boy, that translate to, no, boy, you can't go outside. Hey, you coming to the get together? Inshallah. Inshallah. I will be there, inshallah. Boy, I already know, boy, you don't want to come, boy. Well, we sure that's how we can get by a smooth car right there, boy. You coming, you coming to save it, eh? Inshallah, girl, yeah. You still bringing that bean pulver you said you were gonna bring by? Inshallah. Yeah. Inshallah. Yeah, we gonna boy, y'all be wrong in the mud, boy, putting that on God like that, boy. Let's go to Brother Daniel.
Yes, I'll be quick, brother. Yes, sir. we doing that in vain. Scriptures say don't use Allah's name in vain. I'll be quick, brother. To Sister Shali's point, I was studying 97 Savior's Day, and this reminds me of time. As long as we're in the present tense, we have life in us. We can do something. The minister said, God is time. Time begins with God. When you are with God, you are on time. And when you begin with God, life and time is the same thing. If you don't let God into your life, you're not on time. You ain't making time. Where are you going? You don't even know. You ask questions and don't get answers. What's happening? Where are you going? And that's your life. Where are you going? I don't know. What are you doing? I ain't doing nothing. Then he said, that's the point. That's the point. So I bring that up to say that the minister said that the youth is the most important thing that we have to focus on in the time of what must be done. He said we must focus our efforts on saving our youth. And our sister brought up in the scripture that generation that wasn't afraid to take the promised land. It's going to have to be some conceivable sacrifice and understanding that, as our sister said, don't cry over what you didn't do. If you're with God and you're on time, take that wisdom, take that knowledge, take that energy and give it to the youth, because the minister said the youth may not have money, but what they do have is energy. They have life and they're ready to move. So someone mentioned sacrifice, gonna have to get out of that mindset of me, myself, and I. Because there ain't no future generation with I. The only future we have is in we and what we put in our youth. So there's gonna have to be a lot of conceivable fat sacrifice for our youth, because they're gonna carry this thing and they are the youth that will take it. The minister said to the youth, there's a generation coming that will love the law of God. Love it. And if they love it, that means they want to live it. And the reason that they are totally disconnected from this world and seem to be rebellious, because they really don't want nothing to do with it and they're being bombarded with evil forces. When we step in and bring them the right wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, and bring them what Brother Ben is bringing them on his platform, and as we input with them, they'll be ready. And then we have to find the youthfulness in ourselves and not be those children who died off or the older ones who died off being over 20. Allah wasn't taking no one. 20 years and young is all he wants. That's a spirit, that's an attitude. That's what we have to come with to making it to the hereafter. Thank you, fam.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I think that's it, family. Man, this has been a great discussion. Great discussion. I thank everybody for tuning in and sharing your perspectives. And inshallah, we will see you all in the morning. Man, I'm going to be inboxing y'all on Instagram, by the way. So I know I told y'all in the past, I don't inbox people, but I'm gonna inbox y'all because I gotta find a way to start getting y'all off social media. Had over 1,000 people, 2,000 comments last night when I said, "Can y'all see this?" But they like, "Man, I ain't seen you in a minute." So I am gonna be DMing y'all to see why y'all follow me and start segmenting y'all off of social media so that I can always be in contact with y'all for whatever you need, okay? So thank you all for listening, man. We will be on here for part 2. The minister did not finish, so we're going to be on here for part 2 tomorrow. Make sure you invite your friends, invite your family. Don't forget, y'all, start inviting people now. Let's get back to over 100 people in here in the morning. I know I've been, I ain't been, I report out a little bit. I needed some rest. But be tired, man. I cried. I gotta give y'all my best. I can't come on here sleepy and tired and drained. But invite some people, man. Invite 1 or 2 people, in the morning. Hey, man, just come on here and check the minister out in the morning. He gonna be teaching on leadership and education, and we would love to hear your feedback. Everybody, people like to talk. Now, some people is gonna be shy, but the ones who like to talk, tell them come on. Tell them come on. So see you guys in the morning, inshallah, 7 a.m. Central Time. Those of y'all who are in BWF, I don't know if y'all saw, but we do have a basics trading class this evening at 5 p.m. Central Time. So everybody who kind of been like, I don't really know what I'm looking at. Okay, I'm kind of lost. Tonight or this evening, you need to be there. You better be there. We're gonna go over the basics of it. Basic terms and how to even set up your account. So we're going to walk you basics, how to set up your account and understanding how to even just place a trade. So all of y'all who kind of been overwhelmed and, man, I don't really know where to start, this evening, we got you, 5 p.m. Central Time. Those of y'all who are in the Building Wealthy Families program, and that's www.bwfuniversity.com if that is something that you're interested in. Oh, yeah, we didn't show y'all. Did we show y'all? I didn't even show y'all. Y'all didn't. All y'all didn't see the video. Hold on. Let me show y'all the video. The video was fire, man. Let me see. We're gonna end off with the video today. Man, it was so beautiful. Man, it was beautiful. Can y'all don't mind if we end off with the videos, do you? It was a beautiful gala that we did, man. Hold on. Man, this was amazing. Look at this. Let me show y'all. I don't know how I almost forgot that. So for those who don't know, we had like the Power Call reunion. So we came together in June. And, we ate together, had the dinner and, we all shared feedback. Some people got some awards that they wasn't expecting and things of that nature. And then we had a VIP. We had a little VIP get together. Let me show y'all this here. Show y'all this real quick. Well, that one is 3 minutes. Maybe I can show y'all one. Maybe. So I'm gonna show y'all the Power Call reunion get together first, and then we're gonna go to the second one. It was cool, man. Y'all gonna see some of the people y'all see on the Power Call. Hold on, here we go. Inshallah, yeah, inshallah, it's gonna come up. Inshallah, it's gonna show. Here we go. Peace, family. It's your brother Ben X, one of the founders of Building Wealthy Families. As you can see here, we got families at the dinner table.
Building Wealthy Families. I be on my suit and ties. Can I show you a few things? And as long as I got my suit and tie, I'ma leave it all on the floor tonight. And you got fixed up to the nines. Let me show you a few things.
And so based on what you heard yesterday and what you experienced so far today, what are some of your biggest takeaways so far?
You want to find your path in life to surround yourself with the right people. That's been it, because I just came in, I was late yesterday, and just listening to the last hour was enough to get me back here today.
All dressed up in black and white, and you're dressed in that dress I like.
What would you say to that skeptical person right now that's saying, I ain't all the way sold? If it was anything you would say to them, what would it be?
to ask about opportunity cost. So if I'm on the fence, I would ask myself, what does this cost me versus the amount of value that I will receive? What would it cost me not to have it?
See, you got to answer that. What is it costing you not to be in BWF?
Love is swinging in the air tonight. Let me show you a few things.
So I'm just in a state of thankfulness, a state of gratitude, and a state of humility to just be a part of the movement and to be a part of this journey with all of you.
And we had so much fun together. And also I love learning about business real estate and what API rates were and what business was, especially online business. It made me feel so smart. So thanks to Brother Ben.
I got to experience this brother's energy, his impact. I mean, look at the beautiful people who show up for this man. I mean, this is amazing, right? And I realized, yeah, that deserves a hand clap. Seriously. Yeah.
That impact that y'all had is still going. So at the time, I'm like, can I rebuild this? Then I kind of give a hint that I want to do it. Then here go him, Brother Ben. If you need anything, man, here I am. I just want to help you out. I seen what happened, man. I want to be. I said, now we got the real estate, private banking, we got the business, and then he gives us the tax part. I said, God has been rebuilding this thing the whole entire time.
And at 33, I was able to exit my company, teach ladies to be able to run the operation so that I can be able to do God's work, which is really, really be able to just elevate the people. I feel like so often we're so focused on trying to pay the bills. We literally set the plan and the purpose that God placed in us on the shelf because we can't afford to do it. And so I couldn't be more grateful to be here with Brother Tay and Brother Ben and Sister Alexis because they are builders, and to be able to build something that's really going to impact people. We're going to build. It's going to be hard. It's going to be uncomfortable. We're going to go in before we go out because that's how anything ever grows. But through us doing that, then I know that, it'll be the best decision ever. Thank you.
Brother Ben here? Brother Ben. Now, Ben got a heck of a program. A lot of people listening to Brother Ben. And Ben tells them about the minister. And Ben tells them about the minister.